welcome to this edition of Tutorial Lecture Series on your channel, Comm Naija. My name is Aransiola Adebayo. On today's edition, we shall be taking a look at qualities of a good investigative reporter. Good investigative reporters possess a unique set of qualities that enable them to excel in their field. Here are some qualities and skills that are very important for investigative reporters. The first one is curiosity. Investigative reporters are naturally curious and have a strong desire to uncover the truth behind a story. They ask probing questions that will enable them to dig deep into the bottom of complex issues. For example, when an investigative journalist standing as an interviewer is interviewing a source, the interviewee this time around. Now, when the interviewee is answering the question or replying, giving a response, answers to the questions of the investigative reporter, from there, the investigative reporter still have questions to ask, even from the answers that is being given by the interviewee. And this is helping the investigative reporter to dig deep, to know more about the subject matter. Another point is analytical skills. An investigative reporter should be able to analyze a large amount of information to connect the dots and identify patterns or inconsistency in the data they gather. For example, talking about analyzing information. When an investigative reporter is trying to uncover the truth about maybe budget padding, for example, or you're trying to get a certain amount of money that was awarded and marked for a particular project or a particular contract. Now you need to get more information. For example, you get information from the government cover, you get information from those whom were given the award, you get information from even those who are the beneficiaries of the contract. Now, how do you do it? Now you get information from the government cabinet, you get information from the contractors and from even the beneficiaries. Now, how to analyze, how to put everything together and to make sure that, okay, because in some cases you have information from the beneficiaries which may be inconsistent with that of the contractors, and likewise the information you are getting from the contractors may be somehow inconsistent with the one you are getting from the government that awarded the particular contract to them. Now, the ability to analyze is what makes a good investigative reporter, which means that investigative reporter should be able to analyze a large amount of information, large amount of data, to make sure that they connect the dots and to make sure they identify the pattern or the inconsistency in that particular data they have gathered. Another point is research skills. Investigative reporters must be skilled researchers who know how to find and evaluate information from a variety of sources, as it was discussed earlier under analytical skills, getting information, analyzing it. Now, talking about the research skills, gathering information, finding out information, and evaluating information from different sources, including public records, database, and interviews. So this also is one of the qualities of a good investigative reporter. Another point is interview skills. Good investigative reporter are adept in conducting interviews with sources, different types of or categories of sources, primary, secondary, be it expert, be it witnesses, or be it those who are directly involved or who are not directly involved. And this will help them to gather information and will be able to verify source. And now, having a source or having sources where you are to get information from, you must be able, a good investigative reporter should be able to know how to create rapport with the source, how to make sure that the source is confident in giving the information and letting the source know what you are doing with that kind of information. You don't deceive your source, because when you're deceiving your source, next time you are coming to him, you will not be able to get another information. Another quality is writing skills. Investigative reporters, even reporters generally, must be able to write clear, compelling, and accurate stories that present a complex information in a way that is easy for readers to understand. When you are writing an information, you must make sure that you use simple language, not that you are using a watery language, but use a simple language that your readers will understand very easily. For example, getting an information from the angle of a business information, now you must discover that there are some terms in business that may be very difficult for ordinary layman to get. But when you are talking about writing in a very simple way, it will help, it will assist you to present your information in a very easy way that your readers will be able to understand. Another point is ethical standard. Investigative reporter must adhere strictly to ethical standards. And when you're talking about ethical standards in journalism, you talk about accuracy, you talk about fairness and balance, you talk about transparency, you talk about objectivity and host of others, because when you are giving information and you are not ethical, nobody will trust your information. Even what you have written, assuming you have used a whole month or 2 months, 3 months, even a whole year to gather information, and you are now presenting an information that is not balanced, imagine what do you think people will say? Because there are some people who will be reading your story, who will be going through your stories, that even they know about what you are writing about or what you are writing on. And now when you are presenting an information that is not balanced, imagine what will be in the mind of that kind of person reading your information. Transparency, very very important. Accuracy, very very important. Fair and balance, very very important. Objectivity, very very. Another quality of investigative reporter is collaboration. It should be known to all investigative reporters that investigative reporting cannot be done alone. It is not possible, and that is why you have to interact with different categories or types of sources. Investigative reporters often work as part of a team. And another thing is that you need to create a strong team. Collaboration and communication skills, they are very very essential for success in this field. You may be working with co-investigative reporters. You may be working with even workers of a particular organization from where you are trying to get information, and you are working even with different types, different sources, different categories of sources that will give you information. So it means that you cannot rely on yourself alone, and you cannot even rely on just one source for an information when it comes to investigative reporting. So collaboration is very very important. Collaboration is very very key. Collaboration is very very critical to the concept of investigative reporting. Also, legal knowledge. Investigative reporter should have a basic knowledge of media laws, including libel, defamation, privacy laws, and this will ensure that their reporting is legally sound. There must be consideration of issue of privacy in the report of an investigative reporter. There must be consideration of what you call defamation in the issue of investigative reporting. And an investigative reporter should also take into consideration the law of privacy so as not to run foul of legal aspects of reporting. In contrast to the qualities of a good investigative reporter, we have tech savvy. In this digital age, investigative reporters need to be comfortable using variety of tools and technologies for research, data analysis, and storytelling. For example, when you are gathering information, maybe a particular data which is quantitative, now we have different tools, different softwares that are helps in order to analyze our data. For example, we have SPSS for quantitative data, and then we have Excel to analyze quantitative data, and even talking about qualitative data this time around. Now, after gathering your information from your sources and from some other people that needed to be interviewed, and you have interviewed those people, you have numerous tools, numerous softwares that help to analyze your data. Part of it, we have NVivo, we have Atlas, TI, and so on and so forth. With what we have discussed so far, successful investigative reporters are those who combine these qualities and skills with a passion for uncovering truth, holding the powerful accountable, and making a positive impact through their reporting. That's all we have for you in this edition. Stay tuned to Comm Naija for another interesting edition. Any questions from this lecture, kindly subscribe and drop it at the comment section. We love you all. Goodbye.